Well, thank you all so much for being here tonight. I'm super grateful for all these lovely attendees taking time out of your busy schedule. My name is Elizabeth, the Education Coordinator for Marlene's Market. I am happy to introduce our presenter tonight, registered nurse and health coach, Becca Duskin. Yay! Virtual clap.
Yes. Hello, everybody. So I am so excited to be here today. I hope everybody can hear me okay. Oh, I love there's a clap emoji on one of the screens. I've never seen that before. That's awesome.
Oh, yay!
I love technology. So super excited to be here. I love doing these for Marlene's. They're such a great place to be able to do these workshops. So tonight is Happy Gut, Happy Life. A little bit about me. My name is Becca Duskin. I am a registered nurse and a certified health coach. And I work with women who have gut health issues, digestive issues, who really are just really striving to get energy back in their life, don't want to live in pain, feel like they're missing out on life in general. And I help get their gut back into great, amazing rock star working status so that they can enjoy everything that life has to offer. I spent many years with gut health issues and was able to really cure those IBS and been told that nothing would ever work, and got my gut back into working order, healed it. And now I have energy. I can pretty much eat whatever I want in small doses. I obviously can't overdo it, but, and I just am loving life and am a mom of two daughters, one almost 16 and one who is 12. She'll be 13 in the summer, and get to enjoy life with them, which I feel like I missed a little bit of life with them when they were younger. So super excited to be here today to share this. I'm going to share my screen. So if you do have questions, I cannot see the chat when I'm screen sharing. So please feel free to unmute yourself and speak up if you have a question. I will not be offended that you interrupted me. So let me go ahead and share my screen here for a second. Okay, so here we go. And then I'm going to go to this view so that I don't see anything. Okay, so welcome to Happy Gut, Happy Guy, Happy Life. Again, my name is Becca Duskin. I'm a registered nurse and a certified health coach. So first of all, what is gut health? What is the gut? The gut is everything from your mouth to your anus. It includes all the bacteria, all the organs, your mouth, your throat, your esophagus, your stomach, your small intestine, your large intestine, your rectum, and all the bacteria and the microbiome that live there. And there are a lot. And you really want a microbiome that is full of flourishing good bacteria. Those bacteria feed your system, they feed your cells, they help create neurotransmitters and hormones. They create a solid gut lining in your gut to make sure that you're not getting what you don't want in your bloodstream and you are getting what you do want in your bloodstream. So the digestive system, the gut, it takes in food from when you chew it, put it in your mouth to when you're chewing it, it breaks it down, it extracts the nutrients out of it, transfers them into the bloodstream, takes toxins and waste out of the bloodstream and eliminates them. It is an incredibly vital organ in our system and one that has deteriorated over the years from the toxins that are in our environment. It's in the toxins that are in the air, toxins we put on our body, toxins that we ingest in different foods, mostly processed foods that we eat. And all of that has really worked to make our guts not healthy anymore. And so we're having a ton of things that are going wrong with our systems that all can lead back to leaky gut or an unhappy gut microbiome. And we'll get into a little bit of that and what the symptoms are on the next slide. The gut-brain connection. So our gut and our brain are intricately and intimately connected. The gut is often referred to as the second brain. 70% of serotonin, which is one of our mood regulating hormones, is made in the gut. That is huge, 70%, and it is one of the most important mood regulators. So if your gut is not in good working order and happy, then your brain can't be happy. And vice versa. If you are depressed and anxious and stressed, those things are going to talk to your gut, and your gut is going to be stressed and depressed and anxious. And so it kind of all is a vicious circle and a vicious cycle. One piece of evidence of this is if you get kind of that nervous belly, you get butterflies in your stomach. So it's their thoughts that you're having, and you can actually feel them in your stomach. And that's evidence of that gut-brain connection. The microbiome in our gut has also been shown to influence how the brain develops its stress response. So it has a lot to do with stress resiliency. And if our gut is in good, amazing, healthy working order, then we become very much more stress resilient and able to kind of handle those things as they happen in our lives. So good gut bacteria equals good brain health. Some symptoms that your gut is unhappy. I think everybody thinks of trying to get comfortable here, of the ones you would think of. When you think of your gut, you think of things like constipation, diarrhea, bloating, heartburn as a symptom, burping, belching, gassy. All of those kinds of things are kind of the general gut health indicators that we think of when we think of our digestive system. But poor gut health can lead to, if you have acne, psoriasis, or eczema, those are signs that your gut health isn't working correctly. Fatigue, anxiety and depression, stiffness and joint pain, if you're having trouble sleeping, if you are having trouble losing weight or having unexpected weight gain, autoimmune diseases, seasonal or food allergies, and foot and nail fungus. Those are all signs of an unhappy gut, and that your gut is leaky and not in good working order. And that's quite a list of things that all lead back to an unhealthy gut. And a lot of those have to do with when your gut is unhappy, you have increased inflammation in your body. And so a lot of those things like the autoimmune diseases, the stiffness and the joint pain, the acne, psoriasis, and eczema, those can lead back to the inflammation that's in your body that is not supposed to be there. So in my health coaching practice, and when I'm working with people regarding and surrounding gut health, I really teach on the 4 pillars of gut health. I think that everybody thinks that it is just what you're eating and what you're putting into your body. And that is one of the 4 pillars and one of the 4 things that I really concentrate on. So we're going to go over those 4 pillars here tonight. So the 4 pillars of gut health. 1, nourishment, and what you're putting into your body, and what, not just the food you're putting in, but supplements you're putting in to help heal your gut as well. 2, stress resiliency. As I kind of talked about the gut-brain connection, stress is a vital part of our health and our gut health. And I honestly think that it's probably even more important than what you're putting into your mouth, is being able to deal with the stress in your life. Number 3, self-care, and really taking care of yourself and making sure that your cup is full. If your cup is full, then you're able to give everything you can to everything else and everybody else in your life that needs it. And then number 4, connection and spirituality. So we will go over each of these 4. So the first thing, nourishment, is what we're going to talk about today. So nourishment is what you put into your system. You want it to be whole foods and healthy whole foods that you're taking in. You need all of those vitamins and nutrients and amazing things that are in whole foods to feed all the cells in your body. And so you want to take those things in. When your gut is not healthy, then I like to think of it like a screen door. My hands do not look like a screen door, but a screen door. So a healthy gut lining, your screen door is intact. And that screen door doesn't let things like flies in. It can't. The holes aren't big enough, which is like our gut lining. Our gut lining is like a screen door, and it doesn't let the bad stuff into our bloodstream. But if we get a hole in that screen door, so like in leaky gut or any IBS, those types of things, you get holes in your screen door. And when you have a hole in your screen door, the flies can get in, just like the toxins in your bloodstream. So anything you take in that is a toxin can get into your bloodstream. The bad bacteria can get into your bloodstream over that. And that is basically what leaky gut is. And it can lead to things like IBS and all sorts of digestive disorders. So you want to heal that gut. So part of nourishment and our gut happy diet is healing the gut as well. So taking in foods into our system that are going to heal it. If you don't, you can eat amazingly. You can eat a great, perfect diet that is full of nutrients. But if you don't heal your gut, then it's never going to be able to be in working order. So we'll talk a little bit about a healthy plate and what we should be putting into our body. And then we'll kind of talk about what we can do to heal it here in a second. So a healthy plate of food. I don't like to talk diet. I don't like the word diet. I like the word nourishment. We're trying to nourish our bodies. Diet brings up that sense of deprivation and like you can't have things. So a healthy plate of food, you don't have to count calories. You don't have to look at the labels because you're putting quality whole foods on your plate. So half of your plate should be filled with non-starchy vegetables. And that can be anything that you can think of: greens, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower. Um, oh gosh, asparagus, artichoke, any single non-starchy vegetable that you can imagine. You want to fill half of your plate with that. And that's where you're getting all your vitamins and nutrients and minerals that are going to feed your body, feed your cells. And those are, some of those things are also substances that are going to help heal your gut. You want to fill a quarter of your plate with high quality protein. And what high quality protein is are things like grass-fed beef, pastured poultry, and the way that grass-fed beef is a little bit different than a normal feedlot type of beef is in a grass-fed beef, the animal is eating the grass. It's eating what it was naturally meant to eat. And as it's eating the grass, it's getting all the nutrients of that grass into its system. So then when you eat that beef, you're getting all the nutrients it got in that grass and none of the toxins of what it would be getting in a normal feedlot diet. Grass-fed beef has been shown to have amazing omega-3s in it, B vitamins. It can really build up your cellular nutrients by eating grass-fed beef. Pastured poultry, so chicken and turkey and those things that have been pasture raised. So they're eating worms and bugs and grasses, and they're getting all the nutrients from those into their system, and then you're eating it and you're getting all those good nutrients into your system. Pastured eggs, wild caught seafood, so things like salmon, have a ton of omega-3s, and it's a healthy fat, which actually helps to heal your digestive tract. And you need healthy fats, which we'll talk about here in a second, to make your entire body work. And then a quarter of your plate should be slow impact carbs. So those are carbs. We're not talking bread and processed foods here. We're talking things like sweet potatoes, beets. Those are vegetables that are starchier and will have a little bit more sugar in them, but you want them in your system. Your body needs carbs to survive. So these diets that take all carbs out, you're missing a huge piece of the nutrients that your body needs. So things like sweet potatoes, beets, butternut squashes, quinoa, rice, oatmeal, if you choose to eat oatmeal, and your fruits. This is where your fruits will come in because they're a little bit more high sugar. Fruits, you really kind of want to stick to more of the berries that have a little bit lower sugar index on it, and they have so many antioxidants and healing properties to them. And then this is also where things like lentils and beans come into play. When we are talking gut health, beans can be super irritating to an unhealthy gut. They, if they're not cooked right or prepared right, they can produce a lot of gas. And people tend to be uncomfortable with them, especially if they're having gut health issues. And so they want to steer clear of them. But beans like lentils, which can be super healing to the gut, and black beans are a little bit easier on the system and don't cause quite the reaction. Oh, and back to protein, high quality protein. If you do choose to eat a plant-based diet, which is totally fine, you want to choose things like non-GMO, tofu, and tempeh. And those are, you don't want the GMOs in it because then it's been sprayed with things with pesticides in it, which are one of the leading causes of the breakdown of the intestinal system. And then healthy fats. Our body needs healthy fats to work. The healthy fats work to kind of lubricate our digestive tract so things can move through easier. So if you suffer from a lot of constipation, making sure you have healthy fats at every meal can kind of help that. It helps glide everything through. Healthy fats, our cells need them, our brains need them. There have been studies that have shown that people with Alzheimer's don't have the correct amount of fats in their brain, because we have been, it has been sold to us that we can't have fat in our diet, that fat makes you fat. Fat doesn't make you fat. The processed food that you're eating and the processed fats that you're eating are what causes that. And so healthy fats are things like avocado, coconut milk, coconut oil, grass-fed butter and ghee, extra virgin olive oil, nuts, seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds. All of those things you want to have 1 to 3 tablespoons with every meal. And it gives you a good mouthfeel if you're, say you're sauteing up a bunch of green vegetables. So you're sauteing up a head of kale. And if you just saute that and eat it, it's probably not going to be the most tasty thing on the planet if you don't love kale. But if you saute that in some coconut oil or a little bit of grass-fed butter, then it's going to taste a lot better and you're going to want to eat it. So you're going to want to get those nutrients of that kale in your system. It's going to satiate you more. The fat makes you feel fuller and it's going to do all the good stuff in your body that you want to. So that's how you can kind of incorporate healthy fats into your meal. Adding avocado into your salads and your breakfast. And that's another super easy one that I definitely eat every day. And then to also help heal your gut, you want to get prebiotic and probiotic foods into your system. So prebiotic foods are things like asparagus is a prebiotic. Prebiotics are like fertilizer in the garden. If you think of your digestive tract as a garden, you need fertilizer to grow the plants. And so the prebiotics are just that, fertilizer. Asparagus is a prebiotic. Resistant starches are prebiotics. So things like green bananas, they have resistant starch in them, which helps to grow the good microbiome. Rice, if you take rice and cool it and then eat it, and you can heat it back up to eat it, once that rice has been cooled, it turns into a resistant starch and a prebiotic. And so what is a great thing to do is, like on a Sunday night, make up a big batch of rice for the week and then stick it in the fridge. And then every day you can take out the rice you need, heat it up, and you have a resistant starch now, which is going to help feed that microbiome. And I'm not sure exactly what happens in it when it cools, but fresh cooked rice does not have that same effect on the digestive tract. And then collagen, or where was I? Yes, well, fermented foods. I think that's where I was. Fermented foods are a probiotic. So fermented foods are going to make your microbiome super healthy and luscious and flourishing. Probiotics build up the good bacteria, and fermented foods are a great way to get those probiotics in. And fermented foods include things like sauerkraut. I put sauerkraut in my eggs. I put it in salads. You can put it in anything. Kimchi, kefir, kombucha. Just make sure when you're buying kombucha that you're buying the lowest sugar one. Sometimes with kombuchas, the sugar is fermented. For the most part, the sugar is fermented out in the fermentation process, but some kombucha brands add extra sugar back in at the end. So just buy the lowest sugar one. Things like miso and tempeh. Tempeh is a fermented form of soy. And those things are going to give your body the probiotics that it needs. And then collagen. So when your gut has the big holes in it, collagen is what is going to close those holes back up. I don't get paid by this brand at all, but the Vital Proteins collagen peptides is what I use. And it is a tasteless collagen powder. And you can stick it in anything. You can throw it into a smoothie in the morning to get some collagen and some protein in there. I stick it in a cup of coffee. You can't taste it. It just dissolves. You could stick it in some tea. You could stick it, if you juice things and make green juices, you could throw it into some green juice. I have done that in the past. And if you get at least one serving of fermented foods and one serving of collagen every day, then that is going to help kind of heal and that digestive tract, grow your good microbiome so that then you can kill off the bad bacteria. So again, instead of focusing on counting calories and what you can't have, focus on filling your plate with a wide variety of whole foods. Try to steer clear of any processed foods. Then these whole foods will nourish you and your body. Our bodies were designed to digest all foods. We just need to get our guts back to a baseline of health and let our guts do its job. So there's a lot of talk around elimination diets, low FODMAP diets, and things like that to help with gut health. And those things can be super helpful in the beginning because you're kind of taking out the trigger foods while your gut heals. But a lot of those diets they don't stress the importance of taking in the things that are going to heal your gut. And if you heal your gut, then you are able to eventually add all those foods back in. You can add in gluten. Gluten tends to be a huge trigger for people with gut health. Dairy can be a trigger. And so when you find out what your triggers are, you take them out for just a little while, add in all the gut healing stuff to heal your gut, and then you can go back to eating really whatever you want in small doses. If you're food should be fun. Food is enjoyable. Food is connection. Food is community. We celebrate holidays. We gather around a table to come together. And those things are so, so important to our lives. And so being able to sit down at a holiday table, for instance, and be able to have a little bit of all of the food that it feeds your soul is super important. And when you have a super healthy rock star gut, then you can have a little bit of the cheese and crackers as an appetizer and not pay the price and have digestive issues. You can have a little bit of the cheesy potatoes. I grew up with cheesy scallop potatoes at holidays. And you can have a little bit of that and then get back to this healthy plate of food the next day. But you're able to enjoy things and not have to worry about it as much. And when you cut out a food from your diet for good, then you're cutting out all the essential nutrients that that food has. And every piece of whole food we put into our body is giving us something different. It's feeding our cells in a different way to make us as healthy as possible. So you want to be able to take in all those foods. So that is a little bit about a healthy plate and what to put on your plate. Does anybody have any questions about that and the nourishment piece?
I do. Do you hear me?
I can. Is this Vanessa?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I don't think. Let me close my door. I can hear it all. What are the symptoms of a leaky gut?
So a leaky gut is really what I went back here before. So these are the symptoms of an unhappy or leaky gut. A lot of burping or belching, heartburn, constipation and diarrhea, acne, psoriasis and eczema, fatigue, anxiety and depression, stiffness and joint pain, trouble sleeping, weight gain, any of the autoimmune diseases. If you're having seasonal or food allergies, and then foot and nail fungus can be a sign of it as well. It really ends up being the underlying factor in so many diseases. If you have a leaky gut, it can lead to things like heart disease and cancer because it allows all the toxins into your body, and it makes your body a breeding ground of inflammation.
Well, I'm having some weird sensations are going on in my body when I eat.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like things are crawling under my skin and itchy. Feels like something's crawling around even in my head. My ears are popping.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So yeah, those can definitely be signs of a leaky gut and some gut health issues.
okay. Okay, that sounds better.
Yeah. And I mean, it could be other things as well, but getting your gut into working order is a great starting ground to figure out if something else is going on. Because probably 90% of the time, these things are going to go away by getting your gut back into working order. And if it doesn't, then you know, okay, something else is going on that you need to go get checked out at a deeper level.
Yeah, a lot of gas, a lot
Yeah.
of burps after I eat, burps,
Yeah. Yeah. And
gurgling back in my throat. Yeah.
that's hugely gut health. And just getting your gut back into working order can hopefully take care of all of that.
Okay,
Yes.
sounds good.
Awesome. So pillar number 2, stress resiliency. As I said, stress, I think, is probably more important than what you put in your mouth. You cannot out eat a stressful lifestyle. So you can eat like a rock star and you could eat kale salad all day, every day. And if you are stressed, you are not going to feel well. Your gut is not going to be able to function appropriately. Your brain isn't going to function appropriately. And the way stress works is it is a super helpful thing. It's something that we need for survival. When we're stressed out, we need that stress response to get through the stress and then calm back down. So stress was put in there back in the days when, if you were being attacked by a tiger, when you see that tiger, you want that stress response, that fight or flight response, because you need to run away from that tiger. You need to save your life. And so your stress response kicks in and it puts all the blood to your lungs so you can breathe, and your limbs so that you can run away from that tiger. What it doesn't do is it doesn't give your blood to the digestive tract, because you don't need to digest food when you're running away from a tiger and fighting for your life. You don't need that. And so when you are in the fight or flight response and the stress response, your digestive system is turned off. You cannot digest food. You cannot be in a stress response and a non-stress response at the same time. And the only place your body can actually digest food is in a non-stress response, that relax and heal and digest response. So we need to learn to turn it off. We are all in a constant state of low-level chronic stress for the most part. And it builds on itself. So if you get a little bit stressed because you woke up late in the morning, that's a little bit of stress. If you then spill your coffee on yourself, you've just added a little bit more chronic stress to that. Maybe there's a little bit of traffic on the road getting to work. You've added a little bit of more chronic stress to that. And so it all builds up into this chronic stress that we're under. And we don't allow our bodies to ever go into that non-stress response where we can relax, heal, and digest our food. So 90% of illness and disease is said to have been caused by stress. And illness and disease is everything from cancer to heart disease to gut health issues, autoimmune, anything you can think of, most likely can be led back to stress. I mean, there are obviously the genetic disorders and things that are not, but a huge amount of illness and disease in the world is stress. And a huge piece of that is because stress breaks down our gut lining and our gut health suffers. So a couple ways that you can become stress resilient. So you want your body to be able to have the stress response. If you spill some coffee on yourself, you need that stress response to take care of it. But then you want your body to go back into a rest and digest mode immediately. And so some ways that you can become stress resilient is breathing and deep breathing. And I teach what is called the 4-7-8 breath. So we can do it here for a second. So if everybody just kind of gets comfortable, you can close your eyes for a second and take a deep breath in for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is a 4-7-8 breath. Super simple. And what that breath does is it immediately tricks your parasympathetic system into turning on. So if you are in a stressful situation and you just take a second, close your eyes, and do maybe 2 or 3 rounds of that 4-7-8 breathing. It can take less than 60 seconds. And you will automatically trick your brain into turning off your fight or flight response and turning on your parasympathetic rest, digest, and heal response. It's that simple. You can do it anywhere, anytime. The more times you do that when you feel stressed, then the more often your body is going to know that it just goes back into that after that stress response. You can wake up and do this in the morning so that you start your morning unstressed. A really, really important time to do this breath is before you eat. So again, as I said, if you're in a stress response, you can't digest your food. So you want to be able to digest your food when you're eating. So if you just take a second before you eat anything to do 2 or 3 rounds of this 4-7-8 breath, you trick your body into being relaxed when you take in the nutrients. And then it's a lot easier when your gut is healthy for those nutrients to go where they need to go. Movement, which is a great stress reducer. When you move your body, it releases dopamine into your system, which is the feel-good hormone. It takes care of stress. It makes us happier. And so you want that. And you want to find a movement that you love. Exercising too much or too hard turns on the stress response. If it stresses you out to go to the gym and pump iron for an hour, that's just doing the opposite effect of what you want it to do. Or going out and running 10 miles. If that is not something that builds you up and you enjoy, then you're stressing your body. So ideally you shoot for 20 to 30 minutes of moderate exercise for the best stress reducing benefits. And it's anything that you love. You can go for a walk, you can go play tennis, you can go out and garden, go in the yard with your kids and kick a ball around. Vacuuming the house can be that. And it can feel good when you get done and you have clean carpet. So anything that you enjoy doing, you don't want it to be stressful and you don't want to overdo it. Just 20 to 30 minutes every day is the perfect amount to have that stress reducing body, the stress reducing benefits. And when you move your body, your digestive system starts moving too. A sedentary lifestyle leads to a lot of gut health issues because we're not moving. And as we're moving, our digestive system and the peristalsis starts working and moving things through our system. When things are stopped and stagnant, then that's when things start to break down as well. And you start to have a lot of things like constipation because your digestive system isn't moving appropriately. So that is stress. Self-care. As I work with a lot of moms, I work with everybody, men, women, moms, not moms, but the majority of people I work with are moms. And self-care tends to get put by the wayside. We take care of everybody else in our life. And even just as women, even if you're not a mom, you tend to be the person that is taking care of everybody else's needs and your needs come last. And that is stressful. And when you practice good self-care, you fill your cup up. And when you fill your cup up, then it can overflow into everybody else. And that decreases the stress in your life. When you are happy and you are fulfilled in the morning and your day goes like that, you're going to make better decisions. You're going to eat better. You're going to be calmer, which is all good for your gut health and your digestive system. A huge piece of self-care is a morning routine. And really starting your morning off on your terms. And if you have kids or small kids, or if you get up early for a job, getting up to your alarm clock, jumping out of bed and running off to have coffee, make breakfast, get kids up, do everything that your day is going, you are immediately putting your body in a stress response. So a morning routine allows you to little by little set your alarm a little bit earlier, and it allows you to get up and be relaxed and start your day by filling you up with what makes you happy and joyful. And it has a dramatic effect on your mood, your energy level, your gut health. When you start your day in that relaxed state, you make better decisions throughout the day in regards to food or activities you choose to do. If you have more energy because you were relaxed in the morning, you're more likely to go out and get some exercise. You react to situations differently. And so morning routine can be so many things. It's really just what builds you up and makes you feel good in the morning. It can be starting your day with some meditation. If you are religious, it can be starting your day with some prayer, some stretching. I do a light yoga routine every morning. Going out and getting some fresh air. That is huge for you and your mood and your stress level. Reading, you can read for pleasure or you can read to learn something, whatever makes you feel good. Journaling, some people love to journal in the morning. So finding what works for you. Everybody's morning routine and what people want to do in the morning is going to be different. Personally, my morning routine looks like I get up, I meditate for 15 minutes, I do 5 quick minutes of some yoga stretching, I do some devotions, and I have a cup of coffee. And that is my morning. And it builds me up. And if I don't do that in the morning, the rest of my day doesn't feel like I'm relaxed. I feel like I'm on edge. And so it can really be that beneficial to you. And it can really take anywhere from, you can just have a 5-minute morning routine, anywhere up to half an hour to an hour. Again, play with it and figure out what amount of time and what in that morning routine works well for you. I will, as a thank you for joining me today, at the end of this, and I'll pop it in the comments on the Facebook feed, I am gifting you all with a Self-Care Essentials ebook. And it kind of goes into some different things you can put into your morning routine. It goes over the 4-7-8 breath and some breathing stuff. So I will gift that to everybody for coming today. So connection and spirituality. I know people don't think that has anything to do with gut health, but it's key, and it's key to our stress and our overall feeling of well-being. And when we are less stressed and we have this overall feeling of well-being and happiness and joy, everything just falls into place. We, again, make better decisions regarding food. Our body is less stressed, and so our gut can heal. And so connection and spirituality are vital, I think, to the full picture of what good gut health is. And connection and spirituality kind of entail a lot of stuff. So gratitude and joy. Practicing gratitude every day and practicing joy every day puts your brain in a different place. When you are constantly trying to figure out what you're grateful for, you can't think of the negative. If you're constantly trying to going through your day, looking at the things that bring you joy, you're not going to look at the things that don't bring you joy. Your brain, the synapses in your brain will change, and you will start to naturally, without even thinking about it, focus on the good and the positive, and you will kind of crowd out the negative thoughts. Figure out my knee here. So gratitude and joy, starting your day off with writing down 3 things you're grateful for, or ending your day, or both, with 3 things you're grateful for, and making them different every day is super fun to see how many different things you can find that you're grateful for. Something as little as, the sunshine in the day, or something as little as that your favorite mug that you had coffee in. And then joy, finding something every day that makes you joyful, that is going to bring you joy, because then you get to look forward to it. And that could be something like getting to read your favorite book at night. If you're having, a date night with your partner, or if you're planning game night with the kids, or you're having lunch or dinner with a girlfriend or something like that, then that's going to bring you joy, and you get to think about it. So really focusing on what brings you joy and making sure you incorporate something like that into every single day. A higher power. So having a higher power that you believe in, whatever that may be, even if you don't believe in any religious thing, most people still think that there's some higher power out there, whether it be Mother Nature or spirits or anything. Being able to tap into that and live into that is important for your stress level. And having that, whether you pray to a higher power, or chant to a higher power, or meditate to a higher power, having that and being able to tap into that is super, it makes you stress resilient as well. Relationships. I think this is something that has come to be even more important in this last year with COVID and what's going on now, and that we have been isolated from those that we love and from relationships in the way that we normally see them. Relationships and that connection with those friends, relationships meaning our friends, our family, our significant others, our children. Those are important. There is an epidemic of loneliness in this world, and that we're not, and a lot of it has to do with social media and things like that are taking away our deep personal connections with people. And they're super important to who we are, to ourselves, to our brain. When you feel that connection and that love and that friendship, that you fire stress reducing chemicals in your brain. And so really figuring out ways to strengthen those relationships, making sure you're getting together with girlfriends, making sure you're having amazing relationships with your significant other, and working to have quality relationships with your kids, and doing things that are going to bring you happiness. Those are all super important. And so things that we work on in my health coaching practice. And then having a sense of purpose. So waking up in the morning and having a sense of purpose and knowing what you are here for is vital. And it drives you. It drives you to make good decisions. It drives you to eat better if you have that purpose of, why am I here on this earth? What am I trying to get out of this life? And so trying to find that purpose and really dial that in, whatever it may be. And it's, again, different for everybody. Are ways to increase your connection and spirituality. And those are stress reducing. They give you feel good hormones. They give you a reason for living and a reason for wanting to be healthy. And so those are important things. So does anybody have any questions? So thank you so much for joining me tonight. You can find me, I'll leave this up for a second. You can find me on email at live2thrivecoaching@gmail.com. Please feel free to shoot me an email if you have any questions. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Becca Coaches. Website live2thrive.com. I think it actually might be down right now, having some website issues, but and then, I will also pop into the comments. I have a private Facebook group. It's called Happy Gut, Happy Life. And I would love to have you pop in and join us there. I do weekly education and weekly teaching and give tips and tricks and all sorts of stuff. And so, yes. And then feel free to direct message me on Facebook or anywhere to if you have further questions. I will leave it. I'm going to stop this screen share here for a second. And then I am happy. Okay, so let me grab these questions. Will the slideshow be available after this presentation? You can direct message me and I can send it to you over email if you need it or want it. I'm not sure. I don't think I've had very good luck putting those things into comments or something, but I think that the Facebook Live will probably be up on the Marlene's page for a significant amount of time. And so you can always go back and watch it there. Oh, and I should have read the next comment down. Yes, it'll be viewable after the fact.
No worries, no worries. So does anyone have any questions? This would be a great time to unmute. And then also if you are a little shy, Becca can read the chat comments now. And I'm gonna check on Facebook here, see if there's any input, any questions.
Hey, Becca.
Yes.
This is Amy and Robert Bird. I just want to thank you so much for getting online and doing this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Both my wife and I both have digestive issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot of good information.
Oh, good. Good. I'm glad. Please feel free to reach out or join my Facebook group where I'm able to support you a little further if you have any questions.
We definitely will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.